I'm William Jenks, and I'm the owner of Portland Classic Guitar. I always had a desire to play the guitar, and I just had this inner passion to do this. I felt like that this is something I had to do. I really enjoyed the sound of classical guitar. I was drawn to the beauty of the tone and also the rich history of the music, which goes back hundreds of years. The first time I ever heard a recording by Andre Segovia, I realized that this is the kind of music that I wanted to play. It was just so rich and so beautiful, and I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life, where I thought I might get tired of playing electric guitar, but I thought I could play classical forever. A handmade classical guitar is really the best kind of instrument you can get. The guitars that you get in most shops are made in a factory, and they usually come from China or Spain. But we carry handmade classical guitars, and the best guitars are usually made by one person, and they do all of the work themselves. So they carve all of the wood and they inlay all of the little pieces of wood in here. They select everything, and sometimes it can take more than almost 2 months to make one guitar. And they'll usually produce anywhere from 6 to a dozen guitars a year. And then this is the high-end guitar room. And here we keep the really valuable instruments locked up. This is a guitar from John Blanchard out of Bend, Oregon. It's a handmade guitar. The rosette is all inlaid Indian rosewood back and sides, spruce top, ebony fretboard. It's a fine instrument. It's $4,800. Most of the guitars in this room are between $3,000 and about $8,000. Here's a guitar from California, and it has Australian blackwood on the back and sides. The top is spruce. There's a Richard Prankert from California. It's a cedar top guitar. Notice the difference in the wood color, spruce versus cedar. Cedar is a darker color, and these are the two kinds of woods that guitar players will use, and it's kind of split right down the middle in the guitar world between spruce and cedar. We usually have mirrors in all of our teaching studios, and that way you can kind of see people's hands as they're playing. It kind of gives an instructor a little different perspective during a lesson, which is a good idea. Well, I was performing in a lot of weddings, and this building in this location used to be a wedding shop. And one day I was driving around dropping my business cards at weddings, letting people know I was available. And I dropped in here and I got to meet the owner, and I found out he does websites, and he designed my website for me. And eventually he asked me if I wanted a place to teach closer to the city, because I live in the country, about 30 miles from here. And I said, that's a good idea, because I can be closer to a lot of people, and there's a lot more people interested in classical guitar over here. So I started giving lessons out of the bridal shop. And that lasted for about a year, and the bridal shop ended up leaving. And then my lesson studio kind of grew. It started with just me teaching lessons, and then I had another person teaching lessons, and we grew into a multiple lesson teaching studio. And then also we started a classical guitar shop. And then after that, we opened up the back area where I'm at now, where we hold performances for classical guitarists. These are the 4 giants of classical guitar. I like to have those on the wall: Christopher Parkening, Andre Segovia, Julian Bream, and John Williams. We hold about 1 concert a month, and some of the most famous classical guitarists in the world have played here. The next one up is Jeremy Jou from France, and then we have David Russell later on. He's a Grammy winner. And this is my office back here. This is where I teach and practice and do my administrative work. And this actually opens up into a clothing store on the other side of the wall here. Music is such a powerful tool. It's basically a window to your soul, and there's a spiritual side to music, and I enjoy the just listening to the music and just seeing where that music takes me and really getting lost in that music.